Hello student, welcome to Department of Zoology, Sri Mulika Devi Mahavidyalaya Nigoz, Taluka Parner, District Ahmednagar. In previous video lecture, we was studied some important aspect used in silkworm rearing, that is environmental conditions and care of silkworm during the cocoon spinning. This point is already studied in previous lecture. Now today I will start the next important point, that is to study the important diseases and pests of silkworm larva. So let us start to study the today's point. You know, every organism are always affected by any type of pest and diseases. So, silkworm is not exceptional to infection of any pest and disease. Silkworm also affected by various type of pest and disease. Therefore, it is essential to take the certain precaution against the infection of pest and disease to silkworm. But at the same time, it is desirable to find out any effective measures to cure the silkworms once they get affected by any pest and disease. Means it is not just to study the pest and disease, but to also focus on effective measures on to cure the any type of the pest and disease infection of silkworm. But under the measures to cure the silkworm do not get the disease. After the effective measures or effective controlling do not get the silkworm do not get affected by same disease or same pest. Student, this point is very important in sericulture because the importance of this point is described in this sentence. The income of sericulture is mainly depend on the control measures of pest and diseases of silkworm. Means whatever your incomes from the sericulture activity is mainly depend on the controlling of pest and diseases of silkworm. Just take the one example. If one single disease affected one single larva, silkworm larva, and after that infection, if your larva become dead, so you are lost one single cocoon. Means one single larva have the ability to produce one single cocoon. If you can lose single cocoon, so finally your final production is also decreased. It is very important to study the any type of the pest and diseases of silkworm and try to protect your silkworm larva from infection of particular disease, because you are directly lost your final production, that is cocoon, silk cocoon. And if you can lose the silk cocoon, ultimately your final income will be also affected by the these two factors. I hope you are understand this point, what is the importance of to study the pest and disease. So next one, that is to study the diseases of silkworm. In this point, the silkworm disease is mainly divided into four broad category. In that first one, that is fungal disease. Second one, that is protozoal disease. Third one, bacterial disease, and fourth one, viral disease. These four types, that is various type, four type of diseases are generally observed in silkworm. So let us start the first category, that is fungal disease. These diseases are also called as mycosis. Mycosis is generally caused by fungus named as muscardine. These are the causing agent. They cause this disease, fungal disease. Muscardine infection takes place mainly through the skin. You know, the majority of fungal disease is started from or they are particularly affected skin of organism. Now same formula is also used by muscardine disease, that is through the skin due to contamination of body. The fungus continuously develop in the body cavity or alimentary canal. Any type of the fungus is continuously developed in silkworm body. That time your silkworm is infected or they are survival by the fungal disease. In this disease the larva, blood of larva is totally destroyed and they become a acidity or they show the richness and neutrality in their body. So are you understand what is the actual structure of this disease? The muscardine is mainly three types according to their nature. There are three types. In that first one, white muscardine, it is caused by fungus named as Baviverna bassina. These are the fungus they cause the white muscardine. Let us see the symptoms of this disease. The larva is lost appetite. You know, your larva, silkworm larva is voracious feeder. But here, if they are survival in white muscardine, they stop the feeding. First symptoms, that is they stop the feeding. Body loss elasticity means flexibility of body is totally lost in your white muscardine disease. And finally your larva become a dead or they will be die after the serious infection. Next one, that is green muscardine. This green muscardine is mainly caused by fungus named as Metaxyrinus angiopili. These are the angiospermia. These are the fungus. They cause the green muscardine. In here, they show the same symptoms. That is, stop the feeding, lost the appetite, and body appears yellowish, and finally they become a die. Now here, if you want to identify this disease, the larva show yellowish color on their body. I hope you are understand these two disease. It is very easy to understanding. Now next one, that is yellow muscardine. Now yellow muscardine is caused by fungus named as Erisea farinosa. This fungus cause the yellow muscardine. Now here symptoms of this disease, many small black spots appears on skin of silkworm. Larva lost the appetite, that is stop the feeding, and they become a die within a few days of serious infection of yellow muscardine. This is three types of muscardine disease generally observed in silkworm. Now, next point, that is to study the some controlling measures or effective measures against this muscardine or fungal disease. First one, that is disinfectified rearing house and rearing equipments. This point is already discussed in previous lecture. You know, disinfectified your rearing house and rearing equipments. For example, rearing stand, rearing tray, then chopping knife, then chopping boards, then brood chamber, then Chandrika. These all the equipments are disinfectified before the using of during the rearing. Hygienic practice, rearing and personal hygienic during the rearing. It is very important because if you are not clean your rearing house, the majority of disease infected by, or affected to the your silkworm larva. So hygienic practices is very important in rearing of silkworm. Prevent the humidity built up by using the neem powder after the bed cleaning. If the humidity is very high, above the on an average or requirement, that time the your larva becomes suffering these diseases, because it is favorable to any type of muscardine. Keep mulberry tree free from the any type of pest and insecticide. If any type of the pest are present on the mulberry leaves, now it will be become very dangerous to your larva. And any type of the insecticide are also present on your mulberry plant leaves, this will be also dangerous to larva. So you are always trying to provide clean and fresh leaves to larva. Are you understand? These are the controlling measures. Muscardine is very common in winter. So if you need, I was already told you, during the winter season the humidity is increased. So it is very common in winter and rainy seasons, because this season provide the favorable condition, that is humidity is very high. If humidity is high, that time the infection of muscardine is very fast, and they are develop their pathogen, or a multiplication of pathogen is very fast during this season. So your larva easily infected by the your muscardine disease. Collect the entire disease or infected larva and burn it. If any type of the sorry, if any larva become affected by muscardine disease, do not take any attention. You can just collect in separate container, and this contaminated, this affected, this disease affected larva, collect separate out and burn outside the rearing house. It is final steps against the to controlling this disease, because any type of the pathogen is present in dead larva, there are also chances to spread in another healthy larva. So collect and spread burn in outside the rearing house. This is the photo images of muscardine disease. After the muscardine disease, your larva become such type that is very hard in nature. They change the body color, yellowish in color, and some spots are also present. These are the another symptoms of symptoms of disease. But your larva become majority this type. So you are easily understand these are the infected by the muscardine disease, and you can remove out from the your rearing tree. I hope you are understand this first type of disease, that is fungal disease. In that we are studied three types of muscardine disease, that is yellow muscardine, white muscardine, and green muscardine. Now next point to study the protozoal disease, pebrine disease. The major protozoal disease of the silkworm is pebrine. It is actually French name. In Hindi it is called as katta. It is actually French name pebrine. These are the firstly observed in French and Italy during the 1965. Due to this disease, it is sudden collapse in silk industry or sericulture industry in 1965. This disease is caused a very large effect on the your silk industry, and they are totally collapsed in 1965. So they give the names P. Brine in France. So it is called as France disease also, and in Hindi it is called as Katta disease. Perebrine is mainly caused by the protozoans named as Nosema bombycea, belong to the family Nosemidae and order Microsporidia. Microsporidia, it is a order of these protozoans. They cause the perebrine disease. I hope you are understand the causing agent is Nosema, and the perebrine disease. Why you can call as, because it is French name. Why you can give this name? Because the sudden collapse or first observation or first um, report is reported in France or Italy in 1965. So these are the called as pre-brine disease. The main source of infection is food contamination with the spores via the mother moth or orally. It is protozoal disease. So you know the protozoans are present in particularly water body. So if contaminated water is coming contact to the your mother or your silkworm moth, that time they are infected, and such infected mothers spread this disease in all over colony, and they are spread in whole rearing house. Symptoms, the symptoms of perebrine, you know, the affected larva show a black spot on body due to formation of melanin. You know, our larva is pure white in color, but after the infection of this disease, your larva become they show the blackish spot on external surface of body due to formation of melanin. White spot also appears on the surface of silk glands. White spot, white color spot are also observed in silk gland. It is actually internal part of the silkworm larva. But if you can just study the anatomy uh, and internal some physiological study, that time you are observing these white spot are present in silk glands. Are you understand? These are the main symptoms of your perebrine disease observed on your silkworm. The larva become milky white, unequal size, sluggish, show and irregular growth are the main symptoms of febrile disease. If your larva will be affected by this disease, they show milky white colored plus black spot, unequal size, then sluggish, so irregular growth. These are the main symptoms of febrile disease. If you can find such type of the symptoms, you can start the controlling of this disease. How to control? Use DFLs, that is disease free eggs, only healthy eggs. It is also called as disease free laying eggs, that is healthy eggs from the mother of moth should be used, that is disease free. If any type because you know this disease is particularly spread by the mother moth. So if your mother moth is infected by this disease, ultimately in next generation they can spread or they can continue this disease in next generation also. So if you want to avoid this problem, you can always use DFLs, that is disease free eggs, for rearing purpose. Next, controlling measures, that is disinfectified the rearing house and rearing equipments. You know, any type of the pathogens are present in your rearing house, it is always harmful to your silkworm larva. So it is your first duty to disinfectified rearing house plus rearing equipments. Spore can be destroyed by treatment with 2% formalin for the 13 minutes. By using formalin, you can disinfectified this all the rearing house and rearing equipments. Plus you can also use 5% chlorinated limbs for 30 minutes. By using these chemicals you can disinfectified your rearing house and rearing equipments. Priority of sericulture is to avoid the pebrine disease. You can generally use the DFLs, disease free eggs link. These are the whole information regarding today's lecture. If you have any difficulty, any question, you can ask me in comment box. Thank you very much to all of you for today's lecture.